Hey y'all, welcome back to Homestead in the City. I'm Zach, and today we're going to be doing a quick update on our food forest in progress. So when we first moved here a couple of months ago, this area was just kind of the typical lawn that had just been mown and blown for decades, and the soil was really poor. It's pretty much just grass and weeds here. And so you may have been following along and saw that we cut down a lot of brush from around the side of the yard, put it in a big pile here and burned it down. Made some biochar, tried to kill down some of the weeds, and we were going to do annual beds back here. While we were doing some planning though, decided to switch up that and actually put the annual beds up in the front yard and put the food forest area back here. So once we made the decision to put the food forest back here, that kind of changed up how we were developing the beds. And so they went from kind of neat rectangles to more elongated beds. And while they're still doing annuals this year, we are making long-term plans to start putting more perennials in the beds and kind of using the annuals to build up the soil and to just have something producing there while the perennials kind of take root and get established. So what that looks like right now for the most part is a lot of legumes. We have our Sea Island red peas, we've got some black-eyed peas, some black beans, some other type of red beans, and some white northern beans. There's just a couple, apart from the Sea Island red peas, all the rest were just from grocery store bags. So we wanted to throw those out and grow those, some for saving seeds and eating, but for the most part, just building biomass, fixing nitrogen, and helping build up these beds so that in the spring we can get ready to plant more stuff and start getting the soil better as we put our perennials in there. We're going to be using kind of this fall and winter to plan out, what are the long-term fruit trees and fruit bushes that we want to put in here. But while we're deciding that, we can go ahead and be building the soil. So that first section is a little more established already. We've got a little bit of greenery, but now we're in the newer section that kind of looks how that started to look in the transition. We did each row a little bit differently. On one row, I went ahead and laid down cardboard. We're going to put compost on top. We did that on the other side. On the other two rows, though, I haven't put cardboard down, and I didn't on the other ones. Just going to kind of see how it goes. One of them filled it up pretty deep with compost and tried to work with that, and the other one really just threw wood chips on top, planted directly in that. Now with the beds that don't have the cardboard on it, we might have to fight the weeds a little bit more in the near to medium term, but I think long term, as we build these beds up, they're all going to kind of balance out, and we'll just see how they go. We'll document it along the way, and you'll see which one maybe works better, if there's that big of a difference, and if taking the time and effort to put the cardboard down first is actually worth it. The pallet bed is kind of in the way, so that's coming out, which that was only going to be a short-term solution anyways. That was just something quick and dirty that we could put in right away. Now I did fill it a lot with wood chips and half-finished compost, and so that spent several months kind of decomposing in there. So we're gonna take all that out and use it in one of these beds over here. The plants that were already in it, I did move some of them over into the beds on the other side. I think it was several basils. They were doing well, so I went ahead and put them there in that row, and then everything else that was in there we just kind of chopped and dropped and are letting that compost down in place. And then whenever we get around to working on these beds, you just kind of throw that in there as a top dressing. That's all I've got for today. I gotta get out of here before I get eaten alive by these bugs. But if you want to keep up with the progress in our food forest and all of our other projects, please go ahead and subscribe. We are gonna be working on getting more consistent at pumping out our content so that you can follow along and learn with us. Until then, see you in the next video.